Have you ever wondered which are the best-selling motorcycles of 2025 and why is everyone buying them? Today, we're not talking about tastes or personal opinions. We're talking about real sales, market trends, and the models that are dominating registrations this year. In this video, I bring you the top 5 best-selling motorcycles of 2025. This includes scooters and bikes that stand out for price, reliability, fuel consumption, and daily use. These are the key factors most buyers look for. Stay until the end. The number 1 spot won't surprise you, but it perfectly explains how the current market is moving. If this type of ranking helps you decide which motorcycle to buy, please give it a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next ones. Let's get started. Honda PCX 125. This scooter isn't exactly the new kid on the block, but pay attention because its latest evolution has transformed it into a nearly unbeatable benchmark within its category. Today, I want to calmly tell you everything that makes this machine so special and why it continues to win over so many people. Let's open the hood, or rather, the fairing. This is where its true technological heart beats, the 125cc ESP Plus engine. And no, this isn't just any engine. It's quiet, very efficient, and surprisingly peppy. It delivers around 12 horsepower. On paper, that might seem low, until you get on and feel how it responds. Its strong point isn't top speed, which is around 110 kilometers per hour, or about 68 miles per hour. Its strength is the way it delivers power from low revs. The torque is clearly designed for the city. You take off from the traffic light decisively, leave traffic behind, and it all happens effortlessly. And now comes the truly impressive part, fuel consumption. This borders on science fiction. We're talking about around 40 kilometers per liter, or roughly 94 miles per gallon. You can get even more if you ride gently. With an 8-liter tank, that's about 2.1 gallons, you can easily surpass 300 kilometers of range. That's around 186 miles. It's literally like having a racehorse that feeds on crumbs. But a motorcycle isn't just about the engine. Here, the PCX again shows why it plays in a different league. Its running gear is very well sorted. The chassis is light and agile. This makes dodging potholes or moving between cars feel natural, almost instinctive. The suspension, with that characteristic rear swing arm, is clearly tuned for comfort. It absorbs road imperfections with great competence, without losing stability or the feeling of control. And the brakes, here there's a significant leap. The most recent versions usually feature disc brakes both front and rear. Many also include a front-wheel anti-lock system as standard. This isn't just an extra, it's a huge layer of safety, especially in the rain or during an emergency stop. It gives you confidence, it makes you feel secure and in control. Now, get on, turn the key, and start the bike. The technology is immediately apparent. The instrument panel is completely digital, it's clear and easy to read. In some versions, depending on the market, you even find a color screen and Bluetooth connectivity. Yes, you heard that right. You can pair your phone and see calls, messages, or even control your music directly from the screen. It's like having a small urban control center on the handlebar. And that's not all. There are practical details that complete the conquest. There's a USB port to charge your phone, an under-seat storage compartment capable of holding a full-faced helmet and something else, and the smart key with a keyless ignition system. You get on, start, and forget about taking the key out of your pocket. In terms of aesthetics, its design is pure functional elegance. It has aggressive and futuristic lines that make it look like a larger and premium scooter than it really is. The riding position is comfortable and relaxed. It has a wide, well-padded seat situated just 78 centimeters from the ground. That's about 30.7 inches. This is appreciated by both taller and shorter riders. The fairing and front shield offer good protection from wind and rain. This makes daily commutes much more pleasant. You arrive at your destination fresh, comfortable, and presentable. As for the price, in Europe it usually ranges between 3,500 and 4,000 euros. This depends on the country and equipment, such as ABS or the color screen. In the United States, being a market more focused on larger displacements, it's not always easy to find it officially, but in parallel markets, its price can be around $3,800 to $4,500. It's not the cheapest, but seeing everything it offers, many consider it a totally justified investment. If we listen to the community, the advantages are very clear. Legendary reliability, outstanding comfort, absurdly low consumption, and total practicality. It's that bike that simply works, the one that doesn't cause problems. Disadvantages? Some taller riders might wish for a bit more legroom. On long motorway trips at over 90 kilometers per hour, or about 60 miles per hour, it can maintain the pace, but you can feel it's working near its limit. That's not its natural terrain. As for frequent faults, they practically don't exist. There might be the occasional minor electrical detail or noises from the license plate holder. Nothing serious, nothing major. So, who is the PCX 125 perfect for? It's the ideal companion for the everyday urban navigator, someone looking for elegance, efficiency, and savings. It's excellent for beginners due to its ease of handling and high level of safety. It's a perfect gift for those who want comfort without complications. And it's an unbeatable ally for anyone who wants to forget about gas stations and traffic jams. It's not the motorcycle to cross continents at high speed, but for reconquering your city, for enjoying each daily journey with agility, efficiency, and a smile, it is very likely one of the best decisions you can make.
YAMAHA NMAX 125. This is one of those offerings that can truly surprise you. Today, I want to tell you in as much detail as possible what makes this authentic urban beast so special, because it goes far beyond being just another scooter. Let's start with the heart. That's where this bike makes its character clear. Yamaha equips it with a 125cc single-cylinder blue-core engine. This catchy name isn't just marketing. It means maximum efficiency with electronic fuel injection and liquid cooling, something not all scooters in its category can boast about. Power is around 12 horsepower with 11.7 newton-meters of torque. What does this mean in everyday life? It means you get a quick response, a lively and agile start in the city. It's ideal for being first off the line at traffic lights, overtaking safely, and moving through the traffic with total confidence. Top speed is around 110 to 115 kilometers per hour. That's about 68 to 71 miles per hour. This even allows you to ride on fast roads with some peace of mind when needed. And now comes the figure that usually wins everyone over: fuel consumption. With normal riding, it's easy to achieve between 40 and 45 kilometers per liter. That's roughly 94 to 106 miles per gallon. Yes, you heard right. With its 7.1-liter tank, about 1.9 gallons, the range exceeds 300 kilometers, or 186 miles. In the real world, that's total freedom and far fewer visits to the gas station. Now let's get down to the asphalt. The chassis is a double-cradle steel frame. It's very rigid, and you notice it from the first moment. In curves, it transmits a feeling of solidity and composure that's surprising for a 125cc scooter. The suspension is classic but well sorted. Telescopic fork in the front and twin shock absorbers at the rear. They aren't the most sophisticated on the market, but they are correctly adjusted for daily use. They absorb bumps and irregularities with considerable dignity. Where the NMAX really makes a difference is in the braking department. The high-end version features a front disc brake with ABS and a rear disc with Yamaha's unified braking system. In practice, when using the left lever, the braking is progressive, balanced, and very safe. It's a huge extra layer of peace of mind, especially in the city and on wet asphalt. Additionally, it sports 13-inch wheels. These are larger than many scooters in the segment. This directly contributes to the road stability it's known for. And if we talk about technology, get ready. The instrument panel is a full-color TFT screen. It's very sharp and with lots of information. But the really interesting part comes if you choose the version with connectivity. Through the Yamaha Motorcycle Connect app, you can pair your smartphone. You can see notifications, navigation, bike status data, and even real-time fuel consumption on the screen. It's like having a small control center right in front of you. Add to this the keyless ignition system, the Smart Key system. With the key in your pocket, you can unlock the bike, start it, and open the fuel cap without ever taking it out. A detail that seems small, but once you try it, you get used to it very quickly. In design and comfort, the NMAX has evolved towards a more aggressive and sporty style. Its distinctive dual-front LED lighting especially stands out. It gives the bike a very personal and recognizable look. The riding position is comfortable and natural. It's relaxed but without feeling too reclined. The seat is wide and comfortable for two people. Its height is just 765 millimeters, about 30.1 inches. This allows virtually any rider to reach the ground easily.
Under the seat, there's enough space to store a full-face helmet with some room left for another item. Plus, it has a practical front bottle holder. This is clearly a bike designed for everyday life, for living on it. As for the price, in Europe it ranges between 3,200 and 3,800 euros. This depends on the country and equipment level for its most complete version with connectivity. An interesting fact is that in the United States, Yamaha doesn't market it officially. They focus there on models like the NMAX. So if you find one on the other side of the Atlantic, it's most likely an import. If we listen to users in forums and specialized content creators, the opinions are very consistent. Its main strengths are that almost miraculous fuel consumption, road stability that feels like that of a larger bike, good build quality, and a braking system that inspires a lot of confidence. As less positive points, some mention that the seat can feel a bit hard on very long trips, and that the under-seat storage, although adequate, isn't the largest in its category. Regarding problems, there are no major alerts. Occasional minor noises from the rear suspension or some vibration in the right mirror are mentioned, but nothing serious or recurring. In general, it's a bike with a reputation for being very reliable and durable. So, the big question, who is the Yamaha NMAX ideal for? Well, it's perfect for the demanding urban user, someone who covers many kilometers daily and wants to save money without sacrificing quality. It's an excellent option for beginners thanks to its ease of use and high level of safety, and it's also a great option for those looking for a scooter with the soul of a motorcycle, one capable of tackling a weekend trip without suffering. It's not the cheapest on the market, but when you try it, you perfectly understand why. It's one of those bikes that every time you get on it confirms you made the right decision.
CFMOTO 450 MT. We are looking at the latest evolution from the Chinese brand. This motorcycle arrives with a very clear message. Today, you can indeed have a complete package. It's loaded with technology, personality, and character without having to mortgage yourself for years. If you're looking for a true adventure companion, one that invites you to go out without checking your bank account every month, pay attention. This is going to interest you a lot. Let's start with the heart. Here beats an engine that is, honestly, an absolute delight. We're talking about a 450cc parallel twin. It doesn't aim to boast exaggerated numbers, but delivers exactly what you need when you need it. We're looking at around 44 horsepower, accompanied by generous torque that appears from very low revs. The key? Smoothness, control, and ease of use. On the open road, it maintains more than respectable cruising speeds effortlessly. When the terrain gets complicated, that progressive delivery of power becomes your best ally. It's not a bike designed to always be at the limit. It's a bike designed to go far. And moreover, it does so with fuel consumption that is one of its great strengths, around 4 liters per 100 kilometers. That's about 59 miles per gallon. This, combined with its 17.5-liter tank, about 4.6 gallons, gives you very respectable range to travel without worries. But if there's one area where the 450 MT really shines, it's the chassis and running gear. This is how it earns the title of true adventurer through hard work. CFMOTO has opted for a very rigid chrome molybdenum steel frame. It transmits a total sense of solidity from the first kilometer. To this is added a 38mm inverted fork and a single rear shock absorber. Both have preload adjustment, something that remains a luxury in this price range. The result is a bike that feels comfortable, both rolling on a gravel road and linking curves on asphalt with a lot of confidence. In the braking department, we find components from Hotawan. That's a Spanish brand of recognized prestige. It's along with a dual-channel ABS that can also be deactivated on the rear wheel. This is essential when you venture onto trails and want more direct control. The spoked wheels are 19 inches front and 17 inches rear. They're fitted with dual-purpose tires that aren't afraid when the asphalt disappears beneath them. Now get ready, because in terms of technology, this bike plays in a different league compared to many of its rivals. You get on and the first thing you see is a truly spectacular 5-inch color TFT screen. It's clear, sharp, customizable, and best of all, it features full connectivity via the CFMOTO app. This allows you to see calls, control music, and follow turn-by-turn navigation from your phone directly on the instrument panel.
And as the cherry on top, it incorporates cruise control. This is an extra that many much more expensive bikes don't offer. It becomes a true blessing when tackling long stretches of road. In terms of design, it breathes adventure DNA from every angle. It has an imposing presence, with a fairing that combines aggressiveness and functionality in equal parts. The riding position is upright and relaxed. It's designed for spending hours on it without fatigue. The seat, although somewhat firm, is wide and offers good support. Its height is around 850 millimeters, about 33.5 inches. This may seem high on paper, but the narrowness of the tank makes it easier for riders of average height to put their feet down more securely than expected. The tool-less adjustable windshield is another very well thought-out detail, the kind you appreciate every day. And we come to the point that makes many think very seriously about it: the price. In Europe, it moves around 6,500 to 7,000 euros, depending on the country. In the United States, the figure usually is even more competitive, sitting around $6,000. For everything it offers, it is without a doubt a real statement. And what do users who already have it in their garage say? In general, the reviews are very positive. They especially highlight its impressive value for money, the level of equipment, the smoothness of the engine, and its enormous versatility. Many point to it as an ideal bike to get into the trail world without needing to make a huge investment. As areas for improvement, some comment that the exhaust sound is a bit discreet and that on very long motorway trips, a bit more power could be appreciated. No widespread serious faults are reported, although some forums mention minor electronic details or assembly adjustments that usually resolve during the first service. Overall, it's a reliable bike, although, as always, a good initial check is never a bad idea. So, the big question: who is the 450 MT ideal for? It's perfect for the rider who wants to explore without limits, whether on secondary roads or forest tracks, without having an infinite budget. It's a fantastic option for beginners looking for a manageable trail bike with personality, for travelers who value comfort and technology, and even for experienced riders who want a second bike that's fun, practical, and uncomplicated.
ZONTES 368G. A maxi scooter that doesn't just take you from point A to point B. This is something else. It's a statement of intent. Imagine all the comfort and practicality of a scooter, but combine it with the heart, thrust, and attitude of a true road motorcycle. Sounds good, right? Well, stay tuned, because what's coming next gets even better. At the center of this urban beast, we find an engine that is pure essence. We're talking about a 350cc single cylinder. It's liquid-cooled with double overhead camshafts. I won't bombard you with meaningless numbers, but with what's important. It develops around 36 horsepower and exceeds 32 newton-meters of torque. How does that translate to real life? In an immediate response from low revs, decisive acceleration that gets you out of any intersection with total authority, and a top speed that comfortably hovers around 140 kilometers per hour. That's about 87 miles per hour. More than enough for traveling on motorways and overtaking with total safety. And here comes the really interesting part. Despite that lively and cheerful character, fuel consumption remains surprisingly contained. Around 3.5 liters per 100 kilometers if you ride with a bit of a head. That's roughly 67 miles per gallon. It's literally having it all: fun, performance, and efficiency in one package. To manage all that energy, the running gear of the 368G is designed to inspire confidence from the first meter. The chassis is a double cradle steel frame. It's a robust design that provides a very notable sense of solidity. This makes the bike feel stable both at high speed and in fast corners. The suspension deserves special mention. Up front, it features an inverted fork. That's a component more typical of sports bikes. At the rear, there are twin shock absorbers adjustable for preload. The result? An authentic feel of quality. It's capable of absorbing bumps and road imperfections without losing firmness when you decide to pick up the pace. And in the braking department, it directly plays in another league. Dual 265mm front discs with Jota-1 radial calipers, accompanied, of course, by standard dual-channel ABS. Braking on the 368G transmits a feeling of absolute control with power and modulation, something not all scooters can offer. But if there's one area where it really makes a difference, it's in technology.
You get on, and the first thing that catches your eye is its spectacular 7-inch color TFT screen. It's large, sharp, and with information perfectly organized. Furthermore, it's fully connectable. Through an app on your phone, you can view calls, messages, control music, and even have turn-by-turn navigation directly on the dash. To this are added details that make a difference in daily life. Cruise control, a keyless system to start and open the fuel cap, and push-button start. We're not just talking about a scooter, we're talking about a true gadget on 2 wheels. In design and comfort, it has also done its homework very well. Its aesthetic is bold, modern, and aggressive. It has very pronounced lines and a full LED lighting setup. This especially stands out for its C-shaped light signature. It's unmistakable when night falls. The riding position is relaxed, but without losing that sense of control. The seat is wide, comfortable, and well padded. Its height is just 76 centimeters to the ground, about 29.9 inches. This makes it accessible to a vast majority of riders. Aerodynamic protection is outstanding, thanks to its generous fairing and a tool-less adjustable windshield, making long journeys truly comfortable. The ergonomics are very well achieved. There's room to place your feet in different positions, and under the seat there's a compartment that's a real surprise. It fits 2 full-face helmets. Yes, 2. An absolute luxury for daily use. And now let's talk about one of its greatest selling points, its price. In Europe, it moves around 6,000 to 6,500 euros. This depends on country and dealer. In the United States, its presence is more limited, but in the few available distributors, the price usually sits between $6,500 and $7,000. Honestly, for the level of equipment, technology, and components it offers, it's a value-for-money proposition very hard to beat. And what do real users say? After reviewing forums, opinions, and listening to specialized content creators, the conclusions are quite clear. The overall feeling of quality and robustness is consistently highlighted. The standard equipment, which other brands often charge extra for, is praised. And its dynamic behavior is something many directly describe as sporty for a scooter. Among the less positive points, some users comment that the engine can transmit certain vibrations when pushed hard at high revs. Others mention that the after-sales service network, being a brand in expansion, is still not as wide as that of more traditional Japanese or European manufacturers. As for frequent faults, no serious recurring problems are reported. This speaks well of its reliability, provided proper maintenance is followed and authorized workshops are used. So, the big question, who is the 368G ideal for? It's perfect for that urban user who wants something more than a simple scooter, for those who combine city and road riding daily, for the motorcyclist looking for practicality without giving up sensations, technology, and character. It also fits very well as a second bike for experienced riders who want comfort without getting bored. It's not the most suitable option for an absolute beginner due to its power and weight, but for someone with a bit of experience or who wants to take a step up in level, the 368G becomes a truly complete travel companion and very hard to ignore.
The VOGE 900 DSX. If you're looking for an adventure bike that has almost everything without emptying your wallet, then stop for a moment and pay attention. This is without a doubt one of the most interesting and tempting surprises on the current market. Today we're going to dissect it calmly, without rushing, as if we were in the workshop, looking at it under a magnifying glass, commenting on every detail with a good cup of coffee by our side. The heart of this adventurer is something that is already familiar to us, and that's very good news. It mounts an 895cc parallel twin engine. It's directly related to the one in the F850 and F900 family, though with its own character. This engine delivers 95 horsepower and 92 newton-meters of torque. These are very solid figures that are especially enjoyed in the mid-range. It's not a bike designed to chase the rev limiter, but its thrust from low and medium revs is one of its great strengths. Overtaking, exiting a corner, or climbing a mountain pass feels easy, natural, and very fluid. On the road, it can reach a top speed close to 200 kilometers per hour. That's about 124 miles per hour. More than enough for any realistic use. And here comes more good news. Fuel consumption is very well contained, around 4.5 liters for 100 kilometers in mixed use. That's about 52 miles per gallon. This is thanks to well-tuned electronic management. But a true adventure bike is nothing without good running gear. And here, it again makes a statement.
It uses a robust and very well-executed multi-tubular steel frame. This transmits a sense of a solid package, as if everything were perfectly integrated. Up front, we find a 43mm inverted fork. It's fully adjustable in preload and extension. At the rear, there's a monoshock, also adjustable. And yes, this is a real luxury for a bike at this price. It allows you to adapt the behavior to your weight, the load, and the type of terrain, whether pure asphalt or a forest track. In the braking department, the level is very high. Dual 320mm front discs with 4-piston Jota Juan radial calipers, that's the renowned Spanish brand, and a 265mm rear disc, all accompanied by dual-channel ABS. It has the key advantage of being switchable on the rear wheel for off-road use. The feel at the lever is powerful, progressive, and transmits a lot of confidence from the first moment. If we talk about technology, the 900 DSX doesn't fall behind, not by a long shot. The first thing that catches your eye is its huge 7-inch color TFT screen. It's very sharp and easy to read even in direct sunlight. It incorporates Bluetooth connectivity, and via an app on your phone, you can manage calls, messages, music, and even navigation directly from the dash. Additionally, it features riding modes: rain, road, and off-road. These adjust engine response, traction control, and ABS according to the terrain. The entire lighting system is full LED. It has characteristic front lights in an X shape that give it a lot of personality, and a rear light in a strip format that could easily be on a premium bike. In short, the level of equipment is simply spectacular for its price. In terms of design and the riding experience, it breathes adventure from every angle. It has angular lines, imposing presence, and an upright, commanding riding position. The seat height is 875mm. That's about 34.4 inches. This figure, on paper, may command respect, but in practice, the narrowing of the seat and tank makes it much easier to reach the ground, even for riders of average height. The posture is relaxed, there's a wide handlebar and slightly set back foot pegs. It's perfect for spending hours and hours on it without fatigue. The seat is wide, comfortable, and well padded. It's one of those bikes that when you get on, asks for miles and adventures. And now the million-dollar question: how much does it cost? In Europe, prices move around 10,500 to 11,500 euros. This depends on the country and possible promotions. In the United States, where its arrival is more recent, the price is around $11,990. When you compare it with equivalent models from more established brands, the difference is huge. It offers practically the same package for several thousand less. And what do those who already have it in their garage think? The assessments from users and content creators are quite aligned. Its main virtues are a crushing value for money, a level of equipment and components hard to match in its segment, a reliable engine with good character, and overall construction that feels solid and well finished. As less favorable points, its weight is mentioned. Though contained for its category, it's not light and can be noticed in very technical off-road riding. Some minor software details in the connectivity that can still be polished. No serious mechanical faults are reported, although there are isolated cases of electronic sensors or side stand issues. These are minor problems usually fixed during the first service. So who is the 900 DSX ideal for? It's perfect for the pragmatic adventurer, the one looking for a do-it-all bike, commuting during the week, escaping on weekends on secondary roads, and above all, making long trips combining asphalt and easy trails. It's not an extreme enduro, and nor does it aim to be. It's a great companion for travelers who prioritize comfort, technology, and confidence, all without paying a premium for a brand name. As a first bike, it may be large, but for someone coming from a mid-displacement bike, or for that experienced rider looking for a comfortable, capable, and very well-equipped mount, it's an option really worth trying.
After reviewing this top 5 with urban scooters, practical bikes, and very different proposals, it's time to pick a favorite. And no, it's not going to be the best-selling one or the most comfortable for daily use. My favorite from this list is the CFMOTO 450 MT. The reason? Because it's the bike that most invites you to dream. It's light, fun, and gives you that feeling of real freedom. The feeling of being able to leave home without knowing exactly where you'll end up. It doesn't seek to impress with unnecessary luxury, but with a very clear idea: accessible and uncomplicated adventure. All the bikes in the ranking are great options in their own right, but the CFMOTO 450 MT represents that spark many of us look for, the one that makes you turn the handlebar and think,
What if we go a little further? Now it's your turn. Which one from this top 5 would you choose, and why? I'm reading you in the comments. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and hit the bell to make this motorcycle family even bigger. Good roads to everyone.